Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Sen Jones, Senate District 9, for the record. I'd like to say that I could give as impassioned a presentation as Senator Spearman gave this morning, but mine is probably not going to be quite as compelling. I want to thank you for the opportunity to present this legislation that I hope will facilitate needed construction jobs, modernize aging schools, and save energy, all while costing the taxpayers nearly nothing. A few sessions ago, the legislature passed legislation creating a framework for energy performance contracting as an option for state and local governments. Energy performance contracting allows a state or local government entity to have an approved energy service contractor perform an energy audit of its facilities and make recommendations for energy-saving measures. Energy performance contracting is not limited to projects that you might think of, replacing light bulbs or installing solar panels. Rather, performance contracting can be used for any of 16 categories of work specified in NRS 332, including replacing or modifying HVAC systems, replacing lighting systems, improvements to indoor air quality, improvements to steam traps, and then there's the catch-all: any additional improvements to building infrastructures that produce energy and operating cost savings. Instead of using taxpayer funds to make these improvements, the contractor finances the work in the private market and makes improvements with private financing. The contractor is repaid with the incremental difference between the energy inefficient building and the new efficient building, often over a period of 15 years. As you will hear, there are several success stories of schools, local governments, and state agencies that have taken advantage of this option, yet others have not taken advantage yet. Fast forward to 2013. School districts are struggling with tight budgets, dwindling capital improvement bond accounts, and aging schools with failing systems. Last year, the Clark County School District asked voters to approve a bonds initiative to increase property taxes to pay for repairs at more than 40 schools. CCSD described the repairs it sought to perform as providing reliable water, air conditioning, and power, increased operational energy and efficiencies. Among the projects proposed were replacing electrical systems at 10 schools, including schools in Senator Mendo's district and Senator Park's district, I would note, as well as replacing HVAC systems at 6 schools and other upgrades to 19 schools. Washoe County likewise faces aging schools and limited resources. Amongst the $511 million in capital projects it proposes are replacing HVAC systems and replacing lighting systems at several schools. By its own estimate, replacing HVAC systems costs approximately $1.1 million per school, and replacing lighting systems costs an average of $120,000 per school. On their face, these projects appear to be projects that could be accomplished today through performance contracting arrangements, thereby reducing the need to use scarce operating budget funds that could go to the classroom. To be clear, performance contracting is not the magic solution to all of our problems. The purpose of my legislation is simply to provide additional options and resources to districts and other entities that aren't taking advantage of performance contracting, and I would urge your support. I've spoken with several people since presenting this legislation, and some have suggested that it apply also to higher education facilities or even to all state and local governments. I was addressing a specific concern that I saw, particularly in southern Nevada, but I'm happy to consider wider application. I've included a conceptual amendment expanding the reporting requirements to NSHE, and you'll hear from them here today. And I continue to have discussions with others in the school district. I had a very productive discussion with the Clark County School District this morning on this topic. Also wanted to continue to work to resolve some additional concerns that have been raised by some of the school district representatives concerning the minimum threshold for the amount required for reporting. Thank you for your consideration of SB 142. I'm happy to answer any questions with regards to my legislation.